The Spider-Verse. We all know about it, and the effect it seems to have on all of us artists. It seems to have like a grip on anyone who can wield a pencil or tablet, and today it has its grips on me. You've read the title, you clicked on the video, so obviously you know today I'm designing a Spider-Sona. I don't normally do content like this, so this is kind of new to me. And, you know, technically this is also a voice reveal, so hello. Also, I didn't have time to make new sprites since I made this video in less than a week, and I am editing this in one night. So just pretend it has like a paintbrush or something instead of a controller. I don't have anything else to say really, so let's just get started. As mentioned in the title, I have designed a Spider-Sona before, but the design felt kinda basic and just going for edgy, especially with the red and the black color palette. So I really wanted to try pushing for a more unique design and color palette. So the first thing I did was I wanted to design this spider to kind of lay down the framework for the stylization or just like the overall feel of the character. I based the design off a tarantula spider, with it being like kind of fuzzy, and my original thought was to go for the orange and black color scheme for the overall design that I found a picture of a tarantula with. I mean, it kind of looks cool, but then I do hate spiders. So I wanted the style to be kind of angular, so I tried practicing that with the spider after I got like the sketch down. After I finished the spider, I looked at some really awesome concept art for the movie, and I watched a couple of amazing Spider-Sona videos. They're linked in the description, by the way, seriously, go watch them. They're really cool after this video, of course. Once I was done staring at those beautiful works of art, I listed out some things I definitely wanted in the design. You can see them down in the bottom left corner. I'm not gonna list them out. You can see them there. But, I started sketching the base for the character, and then I really wanted to play around with making the shapes more angular, like the legs have those little weird thing, I don't know what to call it, little spike. Then I started messing with the design for the suit. I ended up giving them open-toed gloves and socks? I don't know what to call them, the feet things, the end of the suit at their, you know what, you get what I am saying. I also added little ribbon things coming from the back of the suit. I'm not really sure why, I just thought they gave like a cool look to the suit, so it wasn't just a skin tight Spider-Man suit, and it had like a more unique silhouette and like design, you know. You've also probably noticed I left the top of the head open. I actually had the hair out in the original version of the Sona, so I did it first. Take that, Paviter. I really do like having the hair out though. I feel like it gives the Spider-Man more personality and like a better silhouette, like so they stand out better. That's just my opinion though. Once I sketched like the back view of the character, I moved on to the coloring. And I feel like I nailed the orange at the very beginning. That was like definitely a color I wanted. But for some reason the rest of the suit color was so difficult for no reason. I mean, yeah, sure, there was a reason, but color theory kind of sucks. Just kidding. I love color theory. But I tried a few different color variations and some of them just sucked. But eventually I'll end up like my favorites and chose one to just try and get it down. Then I realized that the reason I was having so much trouble with the color was because of a little quirk with this Spider-Man that I have not told you yet. Whenever the Spider-Man's like adrenaline gets really high, they actually transform into a terrifying being known as the Tarantula. I mean, not really terrifying, but you get the idea. I realized that the only way to get the suit color right was to decide the color of the tarantula's, tie for short, fuzz. So I sketched out their spider form, chose a color, figured out a color for their fuzz skin stuff, and then immediately changed my mind on the suit color I decided on, and ended up with a grayish blue color to kind of complement the oranges and reds of the rest of the design, because like orange and blue, those are my favorite complementary colors. I love them so much. Okay, no rambling. I just love orange and blue. Move on. At this point, I also went back and colored the design for the spider just for funsies. I'm sure by now you've been wondering why exactly the back is open, but it actually has a use beyond pure aesthetics. They actually have 4 extra limbs that protrude from their back that they can use for extra mobility and climbing. These limbs are retractable and very pointy, which is why the back of the suit needs to be open. I mean, otherwise it would just be ruined. I mean, would you want your favorite shirt to be ruined every time you, like, hold out your arm? You get my point. They also, like, in their spider form, they gain claws on their fingers and their feet so they can, like, grip better. I actually prefer not to web swing whenever they have their extra limbs out, because, like, that's just, like, really clunky, and, like, I wouldn't want to do it. It also took me way too long to figure out how the mask could disappear for the spider form, because I wanted their face to be out for the spider form, because just it looks cool. Originally, I thought I would just have to, like, give up and shove it in a pocket, but then I had the genius idea to just have it sort of fold down, then, like, go around the neck and, like, click together in the back, if that makes sense, forming a kind of, like, shirt collar thing. I hope that makes sense. At this point, the overall design is finished, but looking back, I feel like I could have pushed the contrast better with the colors, maybe going with the original black and orange color scheme, but the only reason I didn't go with that was because it didn't contrast enough with the brown hair and it all just kind of blended together. And also, this character is less of a Sona and more of like a character based on myself that doesn't really represent me. It's more of its own thing, I guess. I don't know. It's a character whose look is based off myself, but it's not a representation of myself, if that makes any sort of sense. Anyway, after the design was complete, I wanted to do a portrait of the character in the style of the Spider-Verse, kind of like the one in this video, and also these. Again, all the inspirations for this video are linked in the description. Go check them out after you're done watching. I started off the portrait by doing a basic sketch. I've never actually done a portrait before, and if you look at the rest of my channel, you'll see I don't even really draw humans, so this was definitely a challenge for me. I really tried to make it look like the Spider-Verse style, but overall it just kind of ended up looking meh. I ended up having to redo the hair at one point, but what messed with me the most was the face. Why do we have noses? Why do we have noses? Why do we have noses? The nose tripped me up the most, but like the lips kind of did too, because I've never drawn lips. Why do we have lips? Why can't it just be a line? I mean, the face in the end just stuck out to me the most. It didn't seem quite right, but like overall, the portrait felt unsuccessful, but I did get this out of it. I mean, look at it. Look at it. It's beautiful. I mean, my friend even put it in Minecraft. It's the funniest thing I've seen in a while. Anyway, for all the trash talking I'm doing, I don't entirely hate it. I did sort of figure out how faces work, kind of, even though for the life of me, I can't figure out why it looks so wonky. I did learn about shading, kind of, which was fun, but overall, I was left, like, unsatisfied by this portrait, so I actually did a second one. Even though I had a limited amount of time for this video, I still decided to do just so much extra stuff. I didn't need to do so much stuff, but whatever. I can't go back in time and fix that. I decided to use the spider form for the second portrait because I thought, 1, I wouldn't have to draw the stupid nose again, and 2, it would be easier to stylize something that was already, like, designed to be stylized. Once I got the sketch down, I wanted to start with the color and then put the lines over it, so instead of using, like, the line art to define the shapes, I could use it to just accentuate the shading and textures, kinda. Like, if that makes sense. I tried to be pretty loose with my lines, and I think it ended up way more stylized already than the first attempt, even before I started the shading. For the shading, I started off with some really bright white highlights, then moved on to shading with like a pretty rough brush. I just really liked all the texture in it, and playing around with the texture was like really fun. And because of the texture, I think it was a lot more successful at replicating the Spider-Verse style. And overall, I just like it a lot more. It has a lot more energy, and it looks cool. I'm just really happy with it. And then when I was almost done with it, I realized, crap, this is just a Spider-Man fursona. Disclaimer, that was not intentional by any way. I'm not a furry, but I do not hate on furries. Also, I did some action poses for fun, just like slapping a sketch and then slapping some color under it. I had planned for a whole lore section, but I kind of ran out of time and room to put it in the video. I really wanted to do like a kind of slideshow thing with like drawings of the lore of my character, but I just completely ran out of time. So if you're interested in this character, let me know in the comments, and I might make another video about the story of this character just for funsies, although that might be a while. Though the end of the video is almost here, you know I just had to do this. Alright, let's do this one last time. My name is Alex Webster. I was bitten by a genetically modified spider, and for the past 9 months, I have been the one and only tarantula. I'm pretty sure you know the rest. I saved a bunch of people. I got hit by a bus that hurt. Saved the city, then saved the city again. I accidentally killed my best and only friend, Peter Parker, and I haven't really made any new ones since. My New York is pretty scared of me. They call me a monster, and I don't blame them. But I know that no matter what happens, I can't quit, because unfortunately, I'm not the only monster here. Okay, yeah, I know it's not the best animation in the world, and if I had the time, I would have loved to make a full animation out of this, but I literally just finished this at 8 p.m., and I still had to record the voiceover and edit the video tonight. As I'm writing the script for this, I don't think I'm gonna sleep. I feel like I just kind of went overboard for this video, but that's just what the Spider-Verse does to artists. I mean, I even made a theme for this character. You've been listening to it the whole time in the background, although it's kind of rushed, and I only used the trial version of FL Studio because I'm too poor to afford the actual version. This entire video is rushed, actually. I scripted, voiced, and edited it all in one day. I know I normally don't make this kind of content, but if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, like I really mean it. I normally make animations, but it takes so much time for each video, and I get overly ambitious pretty easily, so this was a nice change for me. This was a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun making this, and I would actually love to make more videos like this. In fact, I think it would be cool to design the villains for Tarantula, so like let me know if you would like to see a video on that. And I know it's cliche for YouTubers to do this, but it would mean a lot to me if you would like or comment on the video, or like maybe even subscribe. Even if you don't, thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the rambling. Bye!